Hi Pisces, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a collective reading for yourselves. Now, apologies for not getting something out sooner. I have been experiencing technical difficulties. So yeah, I've not been able to upload anything or record anything a little bit sooner, so I do apologise for that. Now, instead of doing a self-reflection reading, I am going to be doing a Celtic cross. I'm trying to change up my offerings. I got a little bit bored of doing the self-reflections, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, I am looking to possibly change some finance ones as well. Now, I'm not going to change them every month. It might just be every other month. So I'm still going to do the monthly ones, and I'm still going to do the love readings, but I am looking to change my offerings up a little bit for this year because I get a little bit bored doing the same thing over and over again. So if you've got any suggestions on what kind of reads you'd like, please pop it in the comments and I will have a good look through. If I don't get many comments or suggestions, then what I will be doing is I'm just going to look at having a few more spreads or trying a few new spreads out. So we'll see what we get on with. So to start with then, so I'm going to pull an angel number for you today to give us an overall feel for the read. And then we're going to jump into the Celtic cross for you. So I am going to split this because they are the most awkward cards in the world, and a lot of the time, oh no, I'm not going to split it. We had one jump out. So we've got 111, intuition, a reminder from the universe to listen to your heart and to trust your gut. So very much following your intuition there, leaning into it, not overthinking things, very much following your gut instinct. Okay, so let's get you some cards for your Celtic cross. Spirit, can we get some cards for Pisces for what's going on for them, please? There's far too many cards, but we'll take them as they came out. Okay. Okay, so to me, it looks as though you are wanting to end something and start something new. So we've got the Death card and we've got the Ace of Pentacles in this cross, very much suggesting that you are wanting to start something new, you're wanting to transition. This particular Death card, I've never spotted it before. He's got an absolute chest of gold there. So maybe you're looking at changing careers, possibly. Maybe you're wanting to end some sort of cycle of lack of abundance because you are looking at potentially you're wanting to start and get into something new, something that's going to be financially fulfilling, very much stable, giving you those coins, those pentacles here. Yeah, so very much it looks as though you might be struggling with how to get a new job or start something new that you feel is going to give you stability, and you're very much wanting to end something. And it's very much, how do you do that? How do you look at getting that new job? How do you look at ending whatever it is that's getting you through this? Now, with the Death comes transformation. So very much when you end something, so one door closes, a new one opens, but that new one's generally something a bit better. Very much learning from the situations, closing cycles out, closing things that no longer serve you out, and very much going into something that's, yeah, more stable, new. And that's very much here what your big challenge is about, closing things out, and moving into something new. Now, it looks as though in the past you may have been very independent and quite skilled. Um, Now, you could have been somebody as well that may have maybe. So, when the Nine of Pentacles is in the upright, she's very stable. Maybe you were somebody that, yes, you may have been very independent, very skilled, but you might not have been particularly stable. Maybe you've lacked funds. Maybe you spent them. Could have acted a little bit wildly, to put it politely. Yeah, it very much the energy of spending whatever comes in, possibly overspending. So you're feeling that lack of stability there with that Nine of Pentacles. Still being very good at what you do, but not necessarily getting the finances to go with it. Now, it could also be that maybe you were dependent on other people as well there, because sometimes that Nine of Pentacles, when she's in the upright, it is very much about being independent. But it could be that you have been very dependent on other people. So it could even be that you're looking to potentially move house. Maybe you've been dependent, living with your parents, and now you're wanting to move out and go your own way, kind of thing. It could maybe you've been dependent on a partner. Maybe you've been in a relationship and that's all coming to an end. And now you need to, find your own stability and move forward. From what I can see, it does look as though your aim is to basically live for yourself. You want this massive transformation. We've got the dragonfly and we've got the butterflies on this King of Swords, and you want to do things within your integrity. You very much want to be honest and truthful and do things that are for yourself. You don't want to deal with any kind of lies. You don't want to deal with any deceit. You're very much wanting to have that open communication within yourself, with the people, and very much doing what you feel is right. Now, it does suggest to me that you may want to possibly feel like you're going to be closing off your emotions slightly, but it could just be that you're not communicating them. So there might even be that you're trying to own your emotions a little bit more. Maybe you want to become a little bit more emotionally mature. So maybe in the past you've wore your heart on your sleeve, quick to anger kind of thing. Anything that affects you, you might just blurt it out straight away without considering consequences. And this could be very much you trying to rein that in. Maybe certain things that have happened in the past, maybe you've been quick to say things, and that could be why you're now needing to transition this. It might not even be that you're looking for stability within finances. It could be that you're looking at stability within yourself, that emotional stability that comes with things. It could be that you may have done something at work and you've realised that you need to actually stop that particular habit and you need to transition through it. Now, in the past, it does look as though you have took far too much on. You're very much juggling things, very much jumping into too much. So it looks as though maybe you keep taking on new things over and over again, and it's kind of threw you off balance. It may have thrown you off balance that much that you've ended up dropping everything because you could have completely overloaded yourself. Now, it could also be you may have been very immature, and that again kind of reiterates with this Nine of Pentacles energy if it's in the reverse. So the Two of Pentacles is very much, you can look at it in two ways. It's either somebody being, juggling too much, kind of losing balance, dropping whatever it is that they had. So possibly you may have took on too much at work. Maybe you're taking on too much at work and it's causing you instability, and it could even be causing you a bit of mental instability. Maybe it's causing you some depression, anxiety. It could be causing you to feel really stressed and anxious because of you taking on too much, and that could be why you're wanting to rein in those emotions too, so that you don't necessarily feel the stress and the anxiety. Maybe you take those out on other people and you want to rein that in. But it could also just be that you have decided that you need to communicate better. Maybe you've got people at work that have took advantage and expected you to do their thing and their work, and you need to stand up for yourself and say, no, I'm not doing that. It could just be something as simple as that. But it does suggest to me that you have been overloaded and you've fallen out of balance. But the Two of Pentacles as well is also immature energy, very much juggling things like a bit of a clown. In the reverse, it's extremely immature energy, and yeah, not particularly very stable. Let's put it that way. So juggling things by all means, but not being stable with that immaturity. So that kind of goes in with I said about the wild behaviour, potentially spending all your money on immature things, going out partying, for instance, getting yourself into debt, very much just kind of throwing money at certain situations, at certain things. And that could very much have thrown you out of balance. And now in the future, it does look as though you are going to be keeping your emotions to yourself. The King of Cups is very much somebody that is he doesn't talk about his emotions, that they are there, but he's a little bit disengaged from them. Now it could also suggest that you're going to try and manipulate your own emotions to potentially make you not so much stop feeling them, but you're going to possibly be ignoring them, which is possibly where this King of Swords comes in. Maybe you feel like that's the way to go with regards to it, instead of actually acknowledging your feelings, but just learning how to deal with them a little bit more. This is suggesting that you're just going to ignore them, possibly disconnect from them. Now, it could be that you don't find something very emotionally fulfilling as well. So if it is that you're still in the same job and you haven't managed to transition through fully, you could just be finding something emotionally unfulfilling. Maybe you haven't necessarily. I've just had a bit of a thing jump into my mind. Maybe you do manage to start something new, but it's not quite what you were hoping for. Maybe you're just looking at getting more income, but that income isn't necessarily giving you happiness. And that's possibly why you're trying to keep your emotions disengaged from it and just going from things from a logical perspective. But whatever it does look as though you're chasing more money and stability than emotional happiness. It could be that you are just not expressing your emotions. Maybe you've keeping something back from someone, or just from yourself. Maybe you're just refusing to recognize certain situations. Now, part of your challenge, so obviously starting something new, you don't feel like you've got the skills to do something new. You don't feel like you can do anything new. The Eight of Pentacles here is very much talking about an unwillingness to work on something, being unskilled at doing something. It does suggest that you can be very skilled at it, but you don't necessarily feel like you can. Maybe you're scared that you can't learn it. Maybe you're somebody that is older. When I say older, maybe I'm 40, so possibly my age, and you feel like it's too late for you to learn something new. You're just going to stick with what you've got. It's never too late to learn something new. It is never too late to learn things. But you could be feeling like you just can't learn something. There could be something where a job that you want to do requires certain things. Maybe a driving license. You don't necessarily have a driving license, so you've got to do that. But you might not have the money to go and get a driving license. So to me, it very much feels like you feel like you've not got the skills that you need to move forward. You've not got the skills that you need to get where you want to go. Maybe it could even be that you don't know how to emotionally regulate. You don't necessarily know how to communicate. You're not sure how to transform from being somebody that is a little bit reckless to somebody that deals with everything very logically. Now, from the look of it, you do have people in your influence that don't have a clue as well. We've got a Knight of Pentacles in the reverse here. Now, they are indirectly affecting you. And I think why they're affecting you is that now this could be a family member, it could be a friend, and they are very clueless. They've got no direction. They don't know what they want from life. They don't know where they want to go. They've got no plans. They are just completely, they're doing nothing. They're stuck. They are not moving forward in any way. They, yeah, absolutely clueless. Clueless. And they're influencing you. Now, whether you realize they're influencing you or not, I'm not sure. Now, it could be that they are somebody telling you that you don't have the skills to do something because they don't know how to do something. It could be that they are, trying to keep you stuck because they aren't doing anything themselves, and maybe they want you around them to, cheer them up. Maybe you're gaming buddies, and you feel like you're not skilled because this person, maybe this person doesn't want a job, maybe they don't want to work, maybe they want to sit on their butt gaming all the time, and they know that if you go and do something else and you become more stable and you go to work and you do more, you're not going to be able to game with them as much. So they could be very much keeping you stuck. They've got no goals, they've got no aims, they're doing nothing. They've got no direction. They wouldn't even know where to start, kind of thing. Um, Now, it could simply be that what you want from things, you're asking the wrong person. Maybe this is somebody around you that you feel is knowledgeable, or you believe they would know the answers to things, but they actually don't know how to get what you want to get to. Maybe you want to get a particular type of job. Maybe you're looking at going in a particular career path, but the person you've asked doesn't know. So they may have made something up and made you feel like you've got no chance of ever going that way. Maybe for instance, they've turned around, or maybe you've decided you want to go and be a solicitor or a lawyer, whatever country you're in, somebody that deals with law, you know. And it could be that you've asked somebody, maybe a friend, maybe a family member, maybe a uh, somebody, a careers advisor, and they actually don't know how you would get into it. And instead of telling you they don't know and going and doing the research, they might say, well, your only options are you've got to go to university, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, because that's a standard approach to most um, skilled work. And I trained in law, and I know very well that that is certain approaches that some people will tell you. In the UK, we do, that there's a couple of different ways that you can get into it. The main one that they'll tell you when you're going through school and college and whatever is that you've got to get your A levels, you've got to go and get a degree, you've then got to get a training contract, a postgraduate diploma in things. But what they don't tell you is about the apprenticeship route that you could have gone through to save you all of that time, because you've done all of that education, but then you can't get into it because you haven't got the work experience behind it. Whereas if you went into it as an apprentice instead, you getting that work experience. But they don't tell you that half the time. So it's very much like you might have somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. They might only be looking at things from one side. So you're going, if obviously that's just an example, but to me, if I wasn't any good at school or education, I'd be like, well, there's no point in me bothering them because I'm not intellectual. I've got no skills with learning. I'm a more practical person. I want the hands-on kind of approach. But if they don't tell you that there's that approach, you're going to feel like you've not got any skills to do that approach. Now, obviously, that could be something completely different. It could be something where you're looking at, relationships as being something that makes you stable. And the person that you might be going towards that you feel that you're not skilled enough to communicate with or have a relationship with might not know what they want with you. I don't feel it's relationships because it is pentacles. It does to me feel more like a work kind of scenario. If you were an earth energy, I would have suggested that that could be emotional fulfillment as well, because with earth energy, pentacles represent, you know, anything that is abundance and stability for them. So that's emotional as well as, you know, physical kind of stability, money, whatever. If you do have earth in your chart, then it could very well be relevant to you as well. Now, your hopes and fears. So you're very much scared of miscommunication, and you're scared of being abandoned or feeling a lack of. Again, this to me suggests very much that this is more a stability thing for you. You may feel like you're scared that if you communicate with people or if you go towards something and try and get what you want, you're going to miss the mark and you're going to be out of luck. Maybe you feel like if you try and go for a new job and you make the moves to go towards one, you're not going to get it, and then you're going to be out of luck. You're going to be out of a job. Maybe you are worried that there's going to be nobody out there to help as well. Very much fearing having no movement and no forward movement and not getting where you need to. Very much fearing that you're going to have no stability, no abundance, no one around you for support. But yeah, this Eight of Wands itself, with it being in the reverse, it's very much either miscommunication, you know, which again, the King of Swords is all about communication and making sure it's clear and concise, having a lot of clarity. This could very much be miscommunication. The King of Cups in the reverse doesn't communicate his feelings. So, you know, again, talking about that, it's not so much miscommunication when you don't communicate, but to me it is, because miscommunication and no communication are pretty much the same thing. You know, it can be interpreted as there being no feelings there, no issues. If you're unhappy at work and you're not communicating it, people are going to assume you're happy. You know, it's very much that kind of energy. It's also suggesting that there's no forward movement, so not necessarily moving into a new job. Maybe you feel like you have to give up a job in order to move into a new job, but then you're scared of not having any money. The Five of Pentacles very much talks about a lack of stability, a lack of money, a lack of resources, a lack of help, a lack of anything. So you feel, you know, maybe scared that you can't move forward because you're scared that there's going to be no help there available for you. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups again. I had hiccups in my last read as well. So if you, I don't know why I keep on hiccuping. I do try and pause it and mute it every time I hiccup, but sometimes I just don't get a chance to. In your outcome, we do have a Nine of Swords in the reverse, which is good because it does tell me that you are no longer going to be stressing about something. Sleepless nights are coming to an end. You are very much going to be not as anxious as you were before. So very much moving into something new is actually going to cause you a lot less stress and anxiety, possibly because of, you know, finances. So even though you feel like you're not skilled at something, you may be learning that you are actually skilled at it. You're just scared that you're going to be out on your bum. But yeah, he's definitely got some anxiety relief here, some stress relief. So whatever this Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles were for you, that over juggling, like I say, this could very much be you getting stressed and overloading yourself, which causes depression, it causes sleepless nights, anxiety, stress. You know, that's you coming out of it. So starting something new will help release all of that anxiety and stress and worry, which is lovely at the end of the day. Right, let's get you some Moonology cards to see if we can give you a bit of a timeline on whenever this is likely to happen or materialise for you. So we have, you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. So that is on the 23rd of August. So yeah, you could find any of that happening around that time. It could have already happened. It might have been in August last year, or September, whenever the full moon in Virgo hit. So yeah, so you could have already started that. Now these moonologies, they could have been, any of them could relate to the past, but it could also just be where your completion, or likely to have your completion date. So we've got your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. So potentially something could be happening every month. It could just be the first quarter moon of a particular month. Unfortunately, the first quarter moon is every month. You've got one of those every month. But yeah, so something here, possibly your commitment to rebalancing, to moving forward, to being honest and truthful is what's being tested. And then your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Now, that is around, well, it's not going to be until January of 2026. So we've just had one of those in December of 2024. So yeah, it could be something where it's already happened, may have started in December. Could be that you're going to have could be a whole year to get where you want to get to, and happen in January 2026. Which I know some of you are not going to be happy with about hearing. But like I say, these are just indicators. They could be last year, they could be this year. But they're generally something major or something main from around here is potentially going to happen on one of these. Obviously, it doesn't have to be any of them. It could just happen to you in its own time, whenever it does. Right, that's what I've got for you, Pisces. If you did enjoy your reading today, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button and press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. Again, any new content that you would like, just pop it in the comments and I will have a look through and see what I can do. Thank you very much for joining me and good luck.